Now, I might be the only nut job, but I always wanted money, but I always talked really bad about it. Doesn't make much sense, right? It's like you want to be in a relationship, but you always talk bad about the person, how long you think that person's going to stay around. But we do the same thing with money. At least that's what I do. That's what I did. And I changed my conversation around money and my whole life changed. I thought it was really interesting that I could use the totality of my inner conversation about money to perfectly illustrate my outer bank account. For instance, I hated money. I hated that we lived in a world where money existed. I always said, I wish we didn't have such thing as money. I hate money. I hate that we have to do this. I hate that we have to live in a world where we have to make a living. I wish we lived in this, I don't know, utopia place or something. And I would always say things like that. And I thought that rich people ruin the world. And so it's no wonder I never had any money. It's an ironic thing, right? I had that conversation about money, but then in everyday reality for Jake had to pay his rent. Jake likes organic, nice, very healthy and expensive foods. And that's not cheap. All of a sudden, third dimensional Jake is like, what's going on? I can't get it. I don't have enough. And then, but what that was doing was just making me more resentful. I got more mad. Then I got more jealous of people that had money. Then I got more frustrated. Then I was like, I don't want to deal with this at all. And then I got more resigned to it, and it made me more angry, more frustrated, more disenfranchised. So many people do this. Some people do it with a similar belief system like me. Some people just think they're not smart enough. Some people think they're not good enough. Some people think God will hate them and that money's the root of all evil. But we have these really silly conversations about money. Money is a freaking piece of paper. That's all it is. It's a piece of paper that symbolizes a value transfer between two people. Money used to be seashells. Money could be, I mean, it's easier to use paper than seashells, but money used to be like ox or sheep. But I mean, imagine if you walked into 7-Eleven and you were dragging a sheep and they were like, okay, that's going to be $11, sir. And you were like, can I give you one sheep? They would call 911 on you. So we have a very convenient store and transfer of value. That's all money is. That's all it is. God's not going to hate you if you have it. Newsflash. By the way, if God created everything, don't you think God wants you to fly first class, have the house you want, not stress about putting your kids to school, pay for the right health insurance, retire, travel the world? Don't you think God wants you to do that if God created everything? Well, then don't you think God wants you to have money? So let's cross that one about it not being wholly off the list. Then you look at the other one of like me, where I had all these weird ideas about how I just wish I didn't live in a world of it and I hated it. Well, the reality is I do live in a world with a value transfer system. It's called society. And I realized money has ears and it hears when you call it. So I started changing my conversation about it. Money has ears and it hears when you call it. Think about that. Some people will watch this video and they'll say, that's silly, that's stupid, or this guy that's doing this new age thing, money has ears and it hears when you call it. So let me explain it to you in a little bit more detail. So it's not like money actually has little ears that are built into a $100 bill. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that your relationship with everything in your life is based off of your inner conversation. Your inner conversation about it determines your relationship with it. It determines how much of something or how little of something you have in your life. It determines your habits about it and your personal interactions with it. My inner conversation about my wife has made us have an amazing relationship. She's as much a part of that as well. Her inner conversation about her and I. Other people have very negative inner conversations with their relationships, right? So their and by the way, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button, please. I know it seems like a silly, stupid thing. You're just like, dude, just keep talking, bro. I don't want to hear you tell me to hit the like button. If you do hit the like button, leave a comment and say, hey, Jake, or whatever, it actually truly does help the YouTube algorithm. So I don't spend $1 zillion on YouTube ads like a lot of these people do. So a way that you can help me get the message out and compete on YouTube is just simply hitting the like button, sharing this video, share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on Leaf Chat, which is a new app. Just joking, I just made that up. But you could share it, hit the like button and comment, and I'll go back to talking what I was talking about now. So money has ears and it hears when you call. That's what I was saying. What I mean by that is think about the relationships, right? That's what I was talking about. If you're in a relationship with someone and you believe they're the root of all evil, how quickly are they going to walk out the door? Even if you don't tell them that, if you think that in your head, how are you going to act with them? All of your habits are going to be built around having a destructive relationship with them because you believe they're the root of all evil. Or if you believe you're not good enough for them. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone, or have you been the person that believed you weren't worthy of love? My relationship before Ashley was the same thing. She didn't grow up, the person before Ashley didn't grow up with her dad, and it was a weird situation where she didn't feel good about receiving, and then I didn't know how to handle that, so I made my mistakes, and it got messed up. So your relationship with money isn't different than the relationship you would have with anything else, because it all begins in your inner conversation. So what I invite you to do is to look at a simple 3-step process to change your inner conversation about money, and that's what's going to start to bring it more into your life. Because here's the thing, you can work as hard as you want. You actually can. But if your inner conversation around money sucks, you won't make it, or you'll sabotage it, or you'll get it and you'll lose it all. So here's the simple 3-step process. Step number 1, pull out a pen and pad and write out your new belief systems about money. They won't insert into your subconscious immediately, but it does something powerful when you see them. So you pull out a pen and pad, you write them all in the present tense, and you write them out. Like I started putting things like, I give my talents with love and I'm wonderfully blessed financially. I started saying that to myself. I give my talents with love, I'm wonderfully blessed financially. Large sums of money come to me quickly and easily. And I started building all these new belief systems. And it changed my life. So I wrote them all down. So just come up with some of them. And what I ended up doing ultimately is I turned them into a success hypnosis that's been very powerful. About 1 million people from all over the world have used it. It's free. It's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com right there down below. And you can use my free success hypnosis that has those listed into it. It's in the description, in the comments right there down below. Step number 2, you can write yourself a letter about money. Really, it's a letter to money, but I mean, you're not going to actually go give it to a piece of paper. So it's really a letter to yourself. So you title the letter Dear Money and just write it out. So like my relationship, and I learned this from Jen Sincero's book, You Are a Bad at Making Money. And I left out the other part of it because YouTube will actually demonetize the video. So she talked about writing a letter, and she's like, my old letter to money was, money, I wish you were here, but I hate you. Money, where are you? I miss you. Please come soon. You make my life hard. I don't trust you, but please come. It was a super incongruent, convoluted letter. And I remember when I wrote mine out, I was like, wow, mine's the same thing. And it's nice because you get to see your active subconscious paradigm in work. Paradigm is subconscious. Subconscious means that it's below conscious. We aren't aware of how this conversation plays itself out. So when you put it on paper, you can objectively look at it and then you can change it. So step number 2 is you can write out a conversation about money in a letter to it. Step number 3 is to retrain and rewire your brain. We now know through neuroscience, which is really cool because we've got some people are like, the technological society is ruining human civilization. Well, one good thing about it is that we have all this new medical tech that's allowed us to learn all this stuff about the brain. So we've actually learned that you actually have something called neural networks. Your brain cells wire together, just like roots in a forest system, and they wire together to produce your quote-unquote reality. But your quote-unquote reality is subjective based off of the way your brain has been patterned. And every time you have emotions or thoughts, you fire brain cells. And when you fire them repeatedly, they wire together and they build a synaptic connection. They build a neural network, fancy jargon. Those are the words they use in neuroscience. So you can retrain it. You can actually build a new neural network. Basically, you can build a new brain. It's like the same thing as like updating a software on a computer. Like, this is the most powerful supercomputer in the world. The MacBook sucks compared to your brain. Well, the supercomputer in your brain has software, but you need to update the software to make it towards what you want financially. And so I actually, when I learned all this, I started coining the phrase first mind. First mind is the one programmed by society for the amount of money that you make. If you want to know how that manifests in your life, just look at your present bank account and your last 5 years of tax returns. Second mind is the one you've programmed for yourself, and that's your desires. That's your conscious desires. So you can program that into your brain. We know this through neuroscience. So I created a way to do that for myself, worked very well, and so now I created it into this really awesome piece. And you can check that out and do a free demo of it. It's right there down below. It's thesecondmind.com. Right there down below in the description and the comments. thesecondmind.com, right there down below. So thanks for watching this video. This is Jake Ducey with jakeducey.com. Money has ears and it hears when you call. Comment that down below. Money has ears and it hears when you call. Comment that down below. Money has ears and it hears when you call. When you change your conversation about money, which first comes with being honest with yourself, your own spiritual discovery. How do I really think and feel about money? And when you find out those missing links and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I talk like that, then what happens is you can rewrite the whole operating system, and ultimately your outside financial life is just a direct reflection of your inner conversations. And if you change your inner conversations, you can change your outside financial life. And it's exciting when you finally discover that. So make sure you hit the like button on this side and this side right over there. Subscribe and bell notification to get notified for new videos. Even if you're already subscribed, just double check if you've actually hit the bell notification. It's right there on this side or right there on this side right over there. And leave a comment down below that says money has ears, here's when you call. Check out my free success hypnosis, jakeshypnosis.com or The Second Mind. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.